this is Cholera, and once again, I'm going to be doing a map preview for you guys to a new map that's being played in the Pro League this season. This is Raid Assault 2. Actually, it was originally played in 2005, I think, for some individual leagues, but it's been resurrected again. And I'm here to just tell you briefly why this is such a good Zerg map. In fact, out of the 6 games we've seen so far, 5 out of 6, that's right, 5 out of 6 ZVZ so far. Absolutely crazy. Usually you do not see such a biased map, but I think Zerg is going to be the only race that people are daring to field here. First, let's notice there's 2 spawn points here at the 12 and at the 6 o'clock location. They lead to a natural expansion that has 2 exits, one going towards the middle of the map and one going towards a sort of, I guess, a second natural over here, which is a mineral only. Now, there are very few other resources around the map. There is another mineral only over here, and I believe an expansion with gas on the corners. So you could theoretically take this base over here from starting at the 6 o'clock location. Well, I guess you really even can't, actually. You have to go all the way around to take it, and here you would also have to go all the way around to pick it up. So these things are going to make it hard for a Terran or a Protoss to defend against a Zerg. Now let's take a look at the main bases. Look at the back of the mineral patches here. You can barely build some turrets there, but behind it, it's all unbuildable, unwalkable terrain, and a good muleless harass is very possible on the main base. Same with the natural expansion. As you can see, there's a ramp up here. You know, muleless can fly over here and harass a Terran base quite easily. Protoss also, even if they're not going to face mutas, which they certainly could, even if they're not, though, it's going to be very hard for them to do a forge fast expand. As you can see, this is the natural expansion here. This natural expansion, really, you don't have that many of your not many great places to put your pylon and your cannons. I guess you could put them over here. You know, your pylon, your first 2 cannons, and defend going down the ramp. But that has a lot of problems because first you won't be able to see the lings as you go down, and second, there's still this one entrance over here that you have to be worried about. So a Zerg can obviously, you know, it will take them a while, but a Zerg against the Forge fast expand, a Zerg could certainly have the time to go around back and catch you by surprise this way. So definitely a hard map for either Protoss or Terran. Zerg versus Zerg, though, is going to be a match we're going to see. This is going to be Savior versus MuMyung from Air Force Ace. And Zerg versus Zerg, just real quick, I have just casted one Zerg versus Zerg where one of the Zergs try to take this expansion, but that was towards the mid game. I don't think it's going to happen in the early game for anyone. A 12 hatch is just suicide on this map, Zerg versus Zerg. And just to note, I mean, Zerg versus Zerg is pretty standardized, but the fact that there are so many ramps going around, I think, will make it actually less profitable to build early Zerglings. Just look at how long it takes for Lings to get across. So a Ling rush might find it very difficult to you might find it very difficult for it to work. Also note that a Ling rush would require you going up 3 ramps actually to get into the main base. Not true for a map like Blue Storm or something like that. So we could be seeing straight into mutas here in a lot of Zerg versus Zergs. I think that's all I'm going to have to say about Raid Assault. Definitely a low macro map, and I think perfect for Zerg versus Zerg. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Cholera's second map analysis. Let me know how I did. Stay tuned for the game. Hey everyone, this is Cholera, and I'm bringing you a single game from the Pro League series between CJ and Air Force Ace. And I'm casting this game for a special reason, and his name is Savior. That is right, Ma Jae-yoon, Savior, is playing in the Pro League for the first time since he was demoted in May, briefly, to the B team on CJ for playing so poorly. And we're going to have to see whether he's back or not in any shape or form. Since you know, taking his break, so far he's had a rocky road of recovery. Though this summer, he was eliminated from the Arena MSL. Followed by that, shortly he was eliminated from the WCG Korea qualifiers, despite representing Korea last year. He was eliminated quite early in that tournament as well, and didn't make it into the Ever OSL, or rather, didn't make it into the Incrude OSL. And he did play some games. He did get out of his qualifiers into the MSL round 32, and I'm not going to spoil the results of that group because I don't believe it's been casted yet. Anyway, this is Savior playing in set 3 of this series. He's going to be playing MuMyung on CJ. I'm sorry, on Air Force Ace rather. MuMyung is a old school Zerg player. He was last known for winning the 2001 KPGA. That's right, that is a long time ago. and he's just been playing a couple of Pro League games on and off for Air Force Ace. He is in his last 16 games 3-13. MuMyung in white at the 12 o'clock location. Savior in purple at the 6 o'clock location. Savior has been 6-10 in his last 16 games, so not playing that great either. And that stretches back to the Arena MSL when Firebat Hero ceremoniously caused his exit, basically. And ceremoniously, certainly with some crazy, almost leg-breaking ceremonies from Firebat Hero. Just absolutely humiliating Savior. Savior's ZVZ is strong, though, 57% against Zerg, and certainly he was someone who was very feared in Zerg versus Zerg. Never necessarily the best at it, but it's the second best lineup. Of course, Savior's best lineup is against Protoss. Despite all his recent poor games, he is still a whopping 68% Zerg versus Protoss. That is very, very good for a non-mirror matchup. I think that's definitely one of the best, I think, for a non-mirror matchup. Anyway, so Savior really... really quite confident in himself. You guys have to check out Savior's new video, or rather the interview with Savior at the BlizzCon 2008. That was just 2 days ago. You have to check out his interview. It's on John 747. It's on Vile Attack. Savior promises he will destroy everyone in 2009. Savior going for the gas first and a spawning pool, and it looks like MuMyung did pretty much the same build, gas then spawning pool. So both look like they're going to be leaning towards mutas heavily, not necessarily going to build that many Zerglings. And that is basically what I predicted from the map analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed the beginning of this game. Because it is so circuitous of a map, it's difficult for Zerglings to get to the opponent's base, so Zerglings are not going to be that critical in this matchup, especially because it's a two-player map, and both players will be able to see what the other player is doing at all given times. Looks like both are actually creating a lot of drones here, so definitely the moment the spawning pool is done, I believe both will be morphing to lair, one hatchery lair. Yeah, but Savior, this is exactly what he said. I mean, he said he asked if he could speak in English